How many of you guys have ever felt like you're floating on a cloud? Now, I'm not asking you to raise your hand because that probably sounds a lot like LSD, but I promise I'm not talking about drugs or anything. Instead, today I'm going to be talking about snowmobiling. In specific, my 95 Polaris XLT 600 cylinder or 600 cubic centimeter triple. This sled came out, or getting ahead of myself here. Basically, snowmobiling is a great way to de-stress during the winter, and it can also be a great way to get around, especially when the roads are so bad to the point that they shut down highways. That's prime time to go out and ride. So with snowmobiling, I've been around it since I was 3 years old. My dad bought pretty much the exact same sled as I did, brand new in 1996. A few years ago, I decided, well, I got a lot of experience with that sled, I might as well buy my own. So that's exactly what I did. Now the only difference between our sleds is his sled has a little bit more dents and dings, but that's partly my fault. I'm not going to accept all the blame, but so like I said before, I'm going to be telling you about snowmobiles. I'll describe a little bit about the snowmobile, and then I'm also going to tell you how it relates to me and why it's a part of a culture. So with my XLT, I told you that it came out in 1995, and it's based off the Polaris Indy. The Polaris Indy has actually been around for about the last 40 years, and they got a commemorative year this year actually. So it's incredibly crazy to think of how far snowmobiles have come since the 1960s when they were first introduced. Whether you consider it by a Skidoo or Polaris, then you got Arctic Cat, and then you also got Yamaha. But my snowmobile, being in 1995, it can't compete with the snowmobiles today. I can give them a run for their money, but I can't outdo them. My snowmobile is 474 pounds to drive without oil, gas, or anything. On top of that, it's old iron, it's reliable, although it's got an incredibly short track, incredibly short lugs, so basically I'm overweight, underpowered, I just got everything stacked against me. But for the most part, I can make it work, and I'll still throw it around like it's a brand new sled. In fact, one of the times I had people on mountain sleds asking me how the heck I got there. I'm not too worried about that. So, snowmobiling has been around in my family for years. My mom has a 98 Classic, which doesn't look the same, but like I said, my dad also has the exact same sled as me, so occasionally I'll get to go out with him and I'll be able to ride down the trails, and basically that's the only thing me and my dad actually see eye to eye on. We're both kind of stubborn towards each other, but it works out. And with my sled, it's a part of the culture because while this is a pretty moderate trail sled, it doesn't sit up too high, it sits pretty low to the ground. But in snowmobiling, you have the race sleds, you have the mountain sleds, you have the trail sleds, you have the guys that work on sleds. And basically my thing is you will be able to just get together and meet all these people. Typically once a year I'll go up to Michigan and I'll end up meeting some guys from Iowa or something, and it's just like, it's always different every time you ride. Sometimes everything can work out, other times you may end up going down the trail and going up a hill and getting stuck and then rolling the sled down and cracking off part of the windshield, who knows? So it's like, you never really know what to expect with snowmobiling. Although one thing that you can always know is typically you will always have other snowmobilers that are around to help you out. I always ride in groups of 3 to 4 just because of my riding style, because I got a tendency to push my sled to its limit. There isn't an in-between. I'm going to ride my sled until I physically cannot. I'm stuck. I'm huffing and puffing. Where that's another reason why I can relate to my sled, is that sled is the reason why I have determination. It has taught me to not only be better, because I want to avoid getting stuck as much as I can. I want to push myself to keep up with my friends that have the brand new 800s. That way, 415 pounds. And when that sled gets stuck, not only do I hate myself, but my friends also hate me, because when you have a 550-pound sled that's bogged down with wet snow, I challenge you to lift it. I challenge. It can't be done. Typically what you'll end up doing is digging out and then having one friend pull it by the ski as you just stand off to the side and kind of shunt it, trying to get it unstuck and everything. But I've told you about my snowmobile. I've told you about some of my encounters. And basically, I just wanted to say thank you for listening to my little speech here about my XLT.